In my previous video discussing the Younger Dryas impact, I mentioned a significant cataclysm that occurred roughly 12,800 years ago. This event, likely triggered by a comet impact, was also believed to have played a role in the sinking of Atlantis. In this video, I wish to explore the perspective of Edgar Cayce, famously known as the Sleeping Prophet, regarding Earth's history, with a particular focus on Lemuria and Atlantis. Cayce, a mystic from Hopkinsville, Kentucky, who lived during the late 1800s and early 1900s, possessed the unique ability to enter a trance state and access the Akashic Records, a repository of all events spanning space and time. Over his lifetime, he transmitted a wealth of knowledge, encompassing subjects like ancient mysteries, health and healing, and spirituality, through a series of 14,306 readings. Through Cayce's readings, we can piece together a captivating account of Earth's history. Contrary to the theory of human evolution from apes or lower life forms, Cayce proposed that humans were souls that became trapped in physical bodies. The first humans were androgynous beings capable of procreation without sexual intercourse. Around 10.5 million BC, these souls descended into the realm of physical existence, establishing their presence in Lemuria, an ancient continent located in the Pacific Ocean. However, humans didn't exist only in Lemuria. Primitive humans inhabited parts of the modern-day states of Utah, Colorado, New Mexico, and Arizona as early as approximately 10 million years ago, according to Cayce. He cited petroglyphs in New Mexico dating back 10 million years. Lemuria occupied a central position in the Pacific and experienced a series of catastrophic events around 500,000 years ago, marked by a significant flood. Similar destructive events occurred approximately 210,000 BC. By 50,000 BC, the first Atlanteans emerged. Atlantis and Lemuria coexisted for many years. According to Cayce, Atlantis was in the middle of the Atlantic, near the Canaries or the Azores, with an island chain stretching to Bimini. At its peak, the Atlantean civilization was highly technologically and scientifically advanced, surpassing even our current civilization. Atlanteans understood the secrets of atomic energy. They could manipulate atomic forces for transportation, lifting heavy objects, and even altering the forces of nature. One of their major sources of power was the use of crystals to produce electricity and magnetism. Among these crystals, the firestone, also known as the Twai stone, held significant importance. Described as a six-sided cylindrical quartz that harnessed energy from celestial bodies using a form of ultraviolet light, an idea bearing resemblance to modern-day laser technology, it absorbed energies and generated a vibrational power source suitable for both constructive and destructive purposes. For instance, by using the Twai stone, they could rejuvenate the body, continuously restoring youth, allowing them to live for up to 10,000 years. They also utilized it to power crafts resembling our current submarines, aircraft, and air balloons, which eventually found use in warfare. The inhabitants of Atlantis were a diverse group, including giants who reached towering heights of 10 to 12 feet, possessed 6 fingers and 6 toes, and were said to have supernatural abilities. In terms of their worldview, the inhabitants of Atlantis were divided into two distinct factions, the Children of the Law of One and the Sons of Belial. The Children of the Law of One followed a more spiritual path, while the Sons of Belial favored a materialistic lifestyle. Consequently, the Children of the Law of One advocated for minimal energy usage sufficient to meet their needs, while the Sons of Belial sought more energy to sustain their ever-increasing materialistic way of life. In addition to technological disputes, Atlantis was also inhabited by another race of hybrid beings with mixed human and animal characteristics, such as centaurs and minotaurs, who served as workers. The Children of the Law of One sought their freedom and equal treatment, whereas the Sons of Belial considered them mere tools to be exploited. These conflicts eventually led to civil war between the two factions. Cayce suggested that Atlantis experienced 3 cataclysms. The first one occurred around 50,700 BC. Because there were large, threatening beasts disrupting the habitats, the Atlanteans developed weaponry such as explosives to combat these creatures. Unfortunately, the use of powerful explosives to eliminate massive prehistoric animals resulted in the release of gas pockets and subsequent volcanic eruptions, earthquakes, and a magnetic pole shift. The original unified continent fractured into 10 islands. The second cataclysm occurred in 28,000 BC and is associated with the biblical flood and extensive fires caused by the misuse of advanced technology. It's likely that this second cataclysm was linked to the use of lasers powered by crystals employed by the Sons of Belial to dig deep into the Earth's core to harness its energy. This cataclysm left Atlantis with only relatively small island areas, with the largest being referred to as Poseidia. The third cataclysm took place in 10,600 BC, involving earthquakes and severe floods that led to the final submersion of both Atlantis and Lemuria. As mentioned earlier, this is likely linked to the Younger Dryas impact by a comet. Many present-day Pacific islands, including Micronesia and Easter Island, are believed to be remnants of Lemuria. One area to which some of the Lemurian survivors escaped is the Gobi Desert, where Cayce claimed a buried city known as the City of Gold exists. This explanation could clarify why the Darim Basin mummies found in this region, dating back thousands of years, exhibit Caucasoid physical characteristics, including tall stature, blue eyes, blonde, and even red hair. After the sinking of Atlantis in 10,600 BC, one group of survivors migrated to the Yucatan area, while another group headed to Egypt. In both regions, they constructed a hall of records believed to house advanced ancient technology and information. A separate video on the Hall of Records is planned, so please like and subscribe if you are interested in this topic. Regarding the construction of ancient structures, Cayce proposed the existence of a lost science wielded by temple priests and masters. This knowledge involved harnessing natural forces such as light, sound, vibration, and levitation to create awe-inspiring megalithic sites. One of the most remarkable of these structures is the Great Pyramid in Egypt, along with the Sphinx. Cayce dated their construction to approximately 10,490 to 10,390 BC, attributing the work to Atlantean survivors, particularly architects Hermes Thoth and Ra. He claimed that the entrance to the Hall of Records was located beneath the front left paw of the Sphinx, with the hidden chamber lying between this entrance and the pyramid. The Yucatan region, once a temperate area, served as a melting pot for diverse cultures, including people from Atlantis, Lemuria, Asia, and Africa, which gave rise to the Maya and Olmec civilizations. They constructed temples and settlements, worshipping a single god and adhering to the principles of the Law of One, the concept that everyone is ultimately one. Therefore, people followed the Golden Rule: do unto others what you would want others to do unto you. Their practices involved the use of magnetic stones to enhance their spiritual growth and cleanse themselves energetically. Around 3000 BC, the lost tribes of Israel arrived in America by boat, and their descendants spread across the region, influencing existing cultures. As centuries passed, spiritual practices evolved into the worship of the idol Baal, marked by human sacrifices. Those who opposed this shift migrated north through the Mississippi River Valley to areas including Alabama, Florida, Georgia, Kentucky, Indiana, and Ohio. These settlers, often referred to as the Mound Builders, were notably tall, with some reaching heights of 9 feet. Their legacy includes geometric earthworks, exemplified by sites like Cahokia and Grave Creek. These ancient mounds found in America are believed to symbolize the flooded land of Atlantis. Besides being influenced by the Lemurians, Atlanteans, Yucatans, and the Lost Tribes, they were also influenced by early Norse Vikings who had arrived in America long before Columbus. These mound builders integrated with other Native American cultures that were already living there. For example, the Pueblo cultures of the American Southwest began around 50,000 BC, with people from the South Seas migrating to the region. Similarly, around 28,000 BC, groups from Atlantis settled in modern-day Colorado. Interestingly, Native Americans were also said to have foreseen the arrival of the whites, leading to meetings among native chiefs from the 5 great nations. These gatherings took place in the Octagon, located in present-day Ohio, where strategies for coexistence and interaction with the newcomers were devised.